Hello and welcome to Learn with Indrjeet. This is another video in the series of videos titled Building a To-Do Management System Application in the latest .NET 8 framework from Microsoft. In the previous video, we learned about how to implement a named HTTP client in the Razor Pages client application to consume the API endpoints. In this video, we'll be implementing the to-do groups in the Razor Pages client application and will complete the services, namely HTTP client service, the data service and the to-do groups service. Towards the end of the video, we'll talk about implementing toaster notifications. So this video is going to be very informative. So watch the video till end, and if you find this video useful, give it a thumbs up. I'm very excited to dive into it, but before we jump in, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest content. So let's get started. So here we are in Visual Studio. Let's start with the web app and implement the to-do groups page. That will be a copy of the index page. Let's hit F5 to see how the index page looks like before we copy it for the to-do groups page. Okay. So the content of this page seems to be merged up with the navbar and the sidebar. Let's improve that. So stop the application, and actually the content of index page is straight away starting with a card. That's a bootstrap card. So let me paste in some markup. We are trying to have a section with class content and a padding on the top and bottom, then the container fluid, a row, and then a column spanning 12. Okay, let's put in the card inside of this column, save that and hit start again. So now this content has some padding on the top as well as on the sides, right? Now we can copy it for the to-do groups page that is here. So as of now it is not going anywhere. Let's stop the application and close that. Copy, Control C and paste. Let's name it to-do groups like so, and let's change the model name to to-do groups model, and for the time being let's remove the logger. Index model changes to to-do groups model, and that's it. So we want to implement the logic over here. We want to handle this API response to convert it to a list of to-do group VMs. So let's have a property over here, prop tab, list of to-do groups, to-do group VMs, VM. Okay, let's name this property as model VMs. It's kind of a generic name. Now we want to initialize this property, this list of to-do groups, when the page loads. Okay, and then we want to show the to-do groups on this page. So let's paste to-do groups model here. So this is not a home page, it is to-do groups, and this is not a to-do list. So the heading will be to-do groups, and we want to show all the to-dos in these list items. So we'll iterate through the model VMs to show them. So let's remove all the other list items from this unordered list, and let's remove the not required functionality. So we don't require a checkbox for the to do group. We only need a text. So let's remove the comment only. We don't need this label, and we need the general tools for edit and delete. Let's remove this O so that it is visible there. Save that. And now we want to iterate through this, but before that, let's see how it looks like on the front end. Okay, so F5 to start the application. Here it is. Let's click on to do groups and see we have a static item there. Design a nice theme that is coming from this markup. Okay, we'll make it dynamic by handling the API response in the onGet method. Okay, so let's stop the application and let me put some code and take you through it line by line. Okay, so we are already getting an API response from the to do groups service. We are initializing a message that says could not get response from API. Then we are checking if the API response is not null. We are doing something. If the API response is null, then we are setting the message as could not get response from the API. That is fine. Okay. Now, if the API response is null, we are checking the status code. If the status code is 200 okay, then we are initializing the model VMs by deserializing the API response.data property to a list of to do group view models. Okay, and if that is null, we are initializing model VMs to null. Then setting a message with whatever message comes from the API response and also showing the description, right? And returning the page. If the status code is not 200, like apart from 200, it can be anything. It can be 500 or anything of that sort. So we are setting a message, whatever comes in the title and the message. Okay. And then towards the end of the video, we'll implement the toaster notifications so that we can see the toasts, all these messages in those toasts. Okay, and let's remove this return page. So we are actually returning page from each and every if and else. So let's cut that, remove it from here and here, and return page at the end of the function. Okay, right. Another thing that we can do is we can just remove this message and just show it in the toast because we have already initialized it, right? So now the next thing is to iterate over this list and show it in here in the list items. Okay, so we want to repeat these list items. Let me put in a for each loop here. Let's cut that, and for each tab for each var item in model VMs, paste that. We want to show, instead of the static text, we want to show item dot group name, so the view model has a group name. We'll implement the edit, delete these tools later on in the subsequent videos. For the time being, we want to show the dynamic group names, and this UL should be visible only if model VMs has something, this list has something. Okay, so cut @if tab if something, yeah, like something like model VMs has something into it and the count is greater than 0, only then show this UL. Otherwise we want to display a paragraph saying record not found. Okay, so at this stage let's hit F5 to see how the to-do groups page looks like. So initially it will take us to the home page, and then we'll click on to-do groups because it is already wired up in the layout, the menu section. And here we are getting the test group 1, test group 2, test to-do group 4 from the API endpoint that is here. So we are getting this in the data. The status code is 200, title is okay, description is this. So we are having test group 1, test group 2 and test to do group 4 updated. So far so good. Now let's take a step ahead and complete our services in terms of all the actions that we defined and commented in the previous video. So we'll first of all implement HTTP client service methods, and then we'll go ahead and implement the to-do group service methods. Okay, so let's uncomment these, Control KU, save that, close this one, and now it says implement interface. So we have get, post, put, delete, cut them, and let's move them to the specific region of HTTP verbs. Okay, so paste. Now as we use the get response private method in this get function, we want to have another overload that takes an ID along with the path, the string path, and now we want to get, let's use string interpolation to pass in the ID along with the path. Okay, like so. Just like get response, let's have another function for post. So it will be posting our response, posting our request, sorry, and it will have a object model. Okay, so let's change this verb post as JSON async, and let's pass in the path as well as the model. Okay, fine. For the put, we should have put which takes an integer ID like so, and it will be a put as JSON async. We'll take a path, but we also want to pass in the ID, so let's take that. So this is put response, and the delete would be something of this type. So let's copy and paste that and change the name to delete, and let's change the verb to delete async. Okay, nice. Now let's make all these actions, the functions, as async. So async task, async task, async task, and async task. Okay, and start implementing the get. So let's copy that, paste it into this get overload, and along with the path we want to pass in the ID. So the other overload takes the ID, right? like so. Save that. Copy that again for the post, and let's wait here. So it will be a post response. It will take the model along with the path, and let's copy this thing and paste it over here, right? So this is the post. Similar to post, we'll have the put. The difference is put, and we want to pass in the ID also, like that. Copy that and paste here, right? Now the delete will look like this one. So we want to pass in the ID, and delete will be delete response. So delete, and okay. So we have implemented all our methods that are there in the client HTTP client service. Now let's go ahead and complete the to-do groups service. Similar to HTTP client, let's uncomment. This to-do groups DTO is there in the application DTOs. Save that. Let's close this one and implement the interface. So we have create, edit and delete. Let's put them below the getters, right? So to implement the get, we'll have to let's make them async. This one, this one, this one. So this is multi-cursor. Shortcut is Control Alt and click, paste, and now we want to pass in the ID, right? For the post, let's copy that again and paste. So this create will be create in the controller, and HTTP create, post. So it will be a post, and it will take the model DTO along with the path. Okay. Now for the edit, we will use put. So here it is. Let's name it put, and the controller, in the controller, the name is update, right? And it will take the ID also along with other parameters, and the get will be something, the delete will be something of this sort. So let's say delete, and the controller action name is also delete, right? So as of now, we are passing hard-coded false in the add auth header. Later on, we'll change this, and this way our HTTP client service is completely implemented, and to-do group service is also implemented. Okay, so let's save that, build, and rebuild the solution to see if it builds clean. Yeah, okay. Now coming back to the to-do groups page, as you can see, we have commented out the toaster notifications. So let's go ahead and implement toast notifications. So what I have done is, I have written all the steps in this blog. I'll put in the link in the description of this video. So the toast notifications are like this: warning is yellow, success is green, info and alert are kind of blue, and error is red. Okay, so to implement this, we will use ntoast notify NuGet package. This package is by Nabeen Karki Thapa. Thanks to him. We'll configure the ntoast notify in the program.js file. Then we'll use in the middleware pipeline, and we'll put in this component for the scripts in the layout page, and then we'll use it. So let me implement this step by step. So first is adding the package. Okay, so we can add the package by right clicking on the web app, add new, manage NuGet packages, or from the tools, NuGet package manager console. We can use this also. So here we have to select the project where we want to install the package, and then install package and paste the name. Okay, so what it will do is it will take the latest and will install. Okay, let's see that in the csproj file. So the ntoast notify 8.0.0 version is installed. Next step is to add it into the pipeline. Okay, so let's copy that where we added razor pages. In the program.cs file, here we are, let's paste that. So it says add toast notify toaster with options. So we want to show the progress bar, and the position of the toast would be top right. Okay, so we can have different positions, bottom center, bottom full width, bottom left, right, whatever you want, but as of now we are using top right. Nice. Next step is to use the notification toasters just before routing. So let's copy these lines and paste them over here like so. Next is to invoke this component in the layout page. So let's go to the shared layout. We can use it in the head section or in the body section. So where I am putting it along with other scripts. So let's put it over here. Save that. Okay, and now let's inject the iToast notification service in our to-do groups page. So here, and it says no, we want to add parameters to this constructor. Now this is initialized and we only have to uncomment these lines. Let's put in a toaster just to see its effect when we get the response as 200. Okay, so it will be a add success message and the message. Okay, now let's hit F5 to see how toasts look like in the to-do groups page. Okay, so here we are. Let's hit the to-do groups page and this is the toaster. So it says success, message is okay, description is 3 records fetched, and the progress bar is like visible. Okay, so this way we can implement toast notifications. Okay, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this video useful and learned something, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button below. Your support means a lot to me. This encourages me to invest more time and create more valuable content for you. Remember to click the notification bell so you never miss an update on future videos. In the comment section below, please let me know what you learned from these videos. What was your favorite part in this video? If you have any questions on today's topic or suggestions for future videos, feel free to drop them in the comments. I read and respond to as many comments as I can. To watch more videos on the same topic, check out the playlist or you can visit the channel. Thank you so much for your time. Keep learning.